I am not objecting, but I would like to place on the record my negative vote on second reading.
Nakikiusap po ako. Siguro naman po, the city will benefit from having a positive and unique reputation that will boost our pride as a locality. Forget about the view and the good weather. We have our own identity that should be cross-promoted. We are a very religious people. We are a peace-loving people. We have our unique identity, Mr. President, similar to other places. So, Mr. President, ang pakiusap po dito, siguro ng mga nakakarami sa aming lungsod, ay kilalanin yung aming identity, which cannot be placed in a legal provision. The identity of a people is promoted by festivities, by our interaction with our visitors, by the way we handle our own history and heritage. And this is the purpose of this, Mr. President. Our unique identity has yet to be explained. Why we are there, why we are created, and we believe that a special holiday is deeply intertwined with our identity. Taga-Itay, that's where it came from. When I was still a young mayor, and this is for the record, and even the records will show this, Senator Ople visited me. We had coffee. The following week, he also visited me, and he said, Francis, I just filed the bill making Tagaytay as the capital of the Philippines. I thought he was joking, but he showed me a copy of the bill. Indeed, it was it passed master first reading. What I'm saying is this, Mr. President. We respect all the standards, we follow the standards, but shining among the unmentioned criteria is local autonomy. Can we craft our own identity? Can we beg for our own identity? Can we kneel and on bended knees that this is the identity of Tagaytay, similar to the festivals? Sinulog in Cebu, you have Mascara in Bacolod, you have Dirangyang in Iloilo, you have in Magayon, in Legazpi. Why do they have their own festivals which are celebrated as a special non-working holiday to the detriment of other cities which have been there? Tagaytay has been there. We are not just the restaurant for Metro Manila. We are not just the resting area for our OFWs and balikbayans. We are Tagaytay City. We have our own place under the map of the Philippines. We are entitled to craft and be understood as having our own uniqueness as a people.
The President of the Republic of the Philippines, by proclamation, can declare a holiday in any particular locality. But we are here debating on the effects of such policy. And I would repeat, I support the impassioned or the passion of the good gentleman from Cavite in trying in pushing for this matter. Yes, I'm sure our colleagues are listening. But as I said, we are looking at this from an objective point of view of our economy and the effects of non-working holidays on the loss of income of our daily paid workers and the additional burden in case these workers are required to work on the part of the employers.
I think I was the chairman of the Committee on Local Government then, and I remember every time I would sponsor a bill which contained a non-working holiday, it would be objected to by the distinguished minority leader on the same grounds. So he asked us for standards, and I remember these are the standards we came up with, although we never submitted it to the plenary for plenary approval.
My recollection is the sponsor and the Senate President put on record that there were these guidelines. So I no longer pursue the point. But now that it's being raised, I'm again bringing it up and confirming that what I brought up was an issue that the minority floor leader was bringing up for probably more than a decade. And I recall that because I also took it upon myself, because at some point we had these discussions also over the last 12 years, Your Honor.
So, June 21, happened to be a day when perhaps whoever, President Quezon was the president then, signed several bills creating cities. So if an occupant of Malacanang or even the executive secretary will be confronted with several letters, probably the most logical result would be a denial, because June 21 is not just the holiday for Tagaytay. Maswerte nga po ang Maynila, naging June 24 sila. Siguro nagpahinga lang yung isang pangulo noon, hindi kaagad nalagdaan. But ang dami pong kasabay ng June 21. You have several LGUs from Ilocos Sur, several LGUs also from the south. Hindi ko na po matandaan yung pangalan. So when confronted with several requests from governors and mayors, siguro po magugulat yung executive secretary. Ba't ang dami nating i-declare ng holiday? So kaya nga po minarapat ng inyong abang lingkod na gawin na po itong permanente. Hindi po tuwing merong June 21 ay makikipag-unahan kami kay Chavit Singson na humingi ng deklarasyon ng Pangulo taon-taon. Ay napakahirap po no. Minsan po nauuna sila. Minsan po sila yung napagbibigyan. Maraming beses na po nangyari sa aking pagkakaalam po yan, Mr. President.
So with that, Mr. President, let me thank the good gentleman from Cavite for spreading these responses to my questions on the record. With much regret, I cannot change my position. I cannot support the bill, to be honest about it, but this is a collegial body. And we have spread into the record our reservations.
This is, for me, an exemption because of our dear colleague. And being the majority floor leader, member of the majority, I support this particular measures.
I would like to think Tagaytay would be an exception. I know this for a fact because the little farm that we have in Alfonso, which is adjacent to the Tagaytay Lemery area, has given me the opportunity to be in Tagaytay actually every weekend. The tourism component of Tagaytay, I think, is unparalleled compared to all other cities in southern Luzon. And therefore, this may, in fact, be the exception to the rule. And again, I will reiterate, I was speaking to Governor John Vic Remulla many years ago, and he said, the tourism population every weekend in Tagaytay is about 1 million, beginning Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the tourism aspect and the holiday economics aspect may not apply to other areas in Calbar Zone, but it most definitely will apply to Tagaytay City. For the record, Mr. President.
So for all those reasons, there are always justifications for exemptions, but I am very pleased that we have had this discussion because I have been raising this also for the past few years. And on that note, I do feel that there is sufficient justification for the position being pushed by the sponsor of the measure. Thank you, Mr. President.
We celebrate too many national holidays and have forgotten of the more important ones. And so, pwede pagsama-samahin eh. Like for example, the National Heroes Day. Pero meron ding National Heroes Day, dapat nandun na eh. Nandun yung araw ng kagitingan, meron pa. Oh, and then we celebrate yung mga talo tayo, polo bataan. Dapat maktan na. Dapat yung mga talo tayo, yung mga polo tirad pass, hindi sineselebrate yun, kino-commemorate lang. And then you rationalize by including also yung mga panalo tayo. Yes. The Battle of Mactan. Yeah.
I totally agree with you, Mr. President.
Hindi ba? And then yung araw ng kagitingan, National Heroes Day, kamatayan ni ganito, kamatayan ni ganyan, mas maganda magkakasama na. Di ba? At yung kapanganakan ang dapat nating sineselebrate. So hopefully in the next Congress, kaming mga may edad na, wala na rito. Senator Lacson, Senator Ralph Recto. Apat lang kami na seniors. So we won't be here, we'll no longer be here. So we leave it up to you, the new blood in
Yes,
the Senate,
Mr.
to
Yes,
take
Mr.
over
President.
and do the rationalization once and for all.
Yes,
All
Mr.
right,
President.
thank you. Senator De La Rosa is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to manifest my agreement to the concerns raised by the minority leader, 100%, sir. But I also would like to state on the record that I agree 101% to the stand of Senator Kiko Pangilinan as far as the exemption is concerned. That's all, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And just really quickly, Mr. President, if I may, I too have a special love for Tagaytay. On December 17, 2005, I married the love of my life in a church in Tagaytay, the Church of Our Lady of Lourdes. And we had our wedding reception in Taal Vista, enjoying the wonderful weather. So, malapit sa puso ko po yung Tagaytay. And it's very memorable time for me when we had our wedding there.
Mr. President,
Senator Kiko would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
with the permission of the Senate President, the Majority Leader, yes, the Majority Leader mentioned that he got married there. And now I remember, for the record, that is where I proposed to my wife and asked her to marry me. It was in Tagaytay Vista Lodge, and that's where I presented her with the diamond ring. It was a night sky. The night sky was filled with stars, but it was her eyes and the lighting up of her eyes that was something that I will never forget. That night in Tagaytay Vista Lodge. So just wanted to share that for the record, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you, Majority Leader, for reminding me of that day many years ago.
Yes.
Thank you.
We had to put that on the record, Mr. President, kasi pareho po kami ni Senator Kiko, sip-sip sa asawa. At mahal naming asawa. Mr. President, with the permission of the body, I move to close the period of interpellation.
Any objection? Hearing none, period of interpellation is closed.
And with that, Mr. President, I move to open the period of amendments and ask the good sponsor if there are any amendments to this bill.
Period of amendments open. Senator Tolentino.
Mr. President, we have no committee amendments. We support in toto the House version.
Thank you. There's no committee amendments, and if it's all right with the good sponsor, if I can be made co-author of the measure together with Senator Joel, a co-sponsor of the measure
Sponsor.
together with Senator Joel, Senator Bato de la Rosa, I believe the Senate President as well would like to be made the co-sponsor. Just for the record.
All right.
With that, Mr. President, I move to close the period of amendments.
Senator, who's that raising his hand?
Yes, Senator Gordon
Senator
also would
Gordon.
like to be made a co-sponsor.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Senator Ralph Recto, who's a neighbor of Tagaytay, beautiful province of Batangas. And thank you. And I believe Senator Binay, and I'm sure Senator Kiko also, because he's also from there. And Senator Villar also, because she also is from there in Tagaytay, Mr. President. I see a lot of. Yes, she also has plenty houses in Tagaytay. So, Mr. President, with that, I move to approve on second reading proposed Senate resolution as proposed House Bill number 568.
There being no amendments and a motion to approve on second reading. No, to approve
On second reading,
on
yes.
second reading. Any objection? Hearing none.
Yeah, Mr. President,
Yes, Senator Drilon is recognized.
I am not objecting, but I would like to place on the record